Okay, so this week, the United States is celebrating Independence Day. Some of you may already be on your vacation or headed there. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes just to talk about what Independence Day means. And maybe even the shift that I'm hoping to see. So the 4th of July, it marks this bold moment in the United States history. A time when a group of visionaries declared that no one has the right to rule over another, that we're sovereign beings, and that freedom and dignity and self-determination were worth fighting for. So we gained our independence from tyranny, from taxation without representation, from rule without consent, and it was a beginning of this grand experience, this grand experiment called democracy. But that I would say that experiment is still unfolding. I would say that not all groups are equally represented, that some groups are still being ruled over without their consent. Um, and it's a work in progress, and I think these are questions we need to continue asking ourselves: is everyone actually free? Is everyone actually represented equally? And this isn't to make anyone the villain, it isn't to make anyone feel bad, it isn't to give anyone unfair attention, as some people may call it. But it's really just to go, hey, like, we could do better. And this is true, we could do better in a lot of areas. And with each generation, we have to continue to ask: is who is freedom for? Who gets to be included? And we, the people, is everyone included? Because in our history that hasn't been true, and I would say it's still not true. And again, we're getting there. It's just, there's this impatient part of me that says we're not getting there fast enough. I want to get there faster. That I want everyone to feel included, to belong, to be part of the we the people. Um, so now we're what, like 248 years later, and I want to ask another question. Can we evolve from this independence to more of an interdependence? Because in a lot of ways, I think we've become overly dependent. We put this huge value on independence, and it's almost gotten to the place where we feel like, oh, I can do everything myself. And I have to do everything myself, and I can't ask for help, and I can't appear weak. Um, but independence was never meant to be this isolation that we've made it to be. True freedom is not just the right to stand alone, but it's really an ability to stand together. This is why we call it the United States. Why we say united we stand, because it's true. And the divided we fall is just as true. We need to care for each other. We need to honor our differences. We need to meet each other in love instead of fear and division. I had this journey, and they put us all on our individual mats. And at some point, typical Kim style, I started to move off of my mat. And we had our blindfold on, so we couldn't really see. But as I started to move off of my mat, the facilitators kept moving me back onto my mat. And at some point in my mind, what I was love. And I was trying to move off of my mat, and it wasn't that I was touching my neighbors, it wasn't that I was doing anything. It was just I was moving off of my mat. And at some point there was this part of me that said, why are they trying to keep me on my mat? Why are they trying to contain me? Why are they trying to keep us separate? But this is what they, and I'm going to use the large they, and you can attribute they to whoever the they is in your life, but that's what they do. They divide us. They make us feel alone. They make us feel like we're all on our each individual mat. And when we feel alone, when we feel we don't belong, that's when they really win. That's when they take all of our power. And so what I realized in this journey was that they can't keep us apart. whether it's energetically or through love or even through our thoughts and our prayers, like they can't keep us apart unless we allow them to. And that's what we're doing right now. We are allowing them to control us through fear and through division. And that is how they are gaining our power. That is how they are keeping us apart. This is how America, unfortunately, in a lot of pockets, is operating. And in this moment of division and pain and polarization, my hope, my dream is that America, the United States, chooses love. That we choose to let this love flow to include everyone, because that love protects our neighbors, that love that it listens before judging, that this love, it builds bridges across the aisles, across borders, across belief systems. So my ask is that this Independence Day, let's remember, we didn't just gain freedom from something. We gained the chance to really create something new, to create something bold and beautiful, and it has to be grounded in love and equality and inclusion. And we are a country that thrives not in spite of our differences, as people might want to make us believe, but because of them. We are this melting pot, and that is what makes us beautiful. It's like adding spice to a recipe. Like, this is what makes us unique. This is what makes the United States the United States. And so this 4th of July, this Independence Day, I want to really ask us to declare it again. I want us to declare our independence, but I also want us to declare our interdependence. That ability to stand with our neighbors, to love each other, to support each other, to include and to bring everyone into the fold and to celebrate their individuality. Instead of trying to make everyone the same. And so again, I hope that we can choose love, and that together we can really become strong, we can really become united, and we can really become what we were meant to become.